Hi guys, today we are going to discuss sentence and how many kinds of sentences we have in English language. Let's start with the definition of the sentence. The definition of the sentence, which you already be knowing, that it is a group of words having a complete meaning. Here are two examples. We are students, the dogs are barking. This is how you have to write a sentence, so that there should be a subject, verb and other words which complement subject and verb of the sentence, so that the meaning of the sentence must be clear to the readers and to the listeners. Now let's move on to the kinds of sentences. We have four kinds of sentences in English language. The first kind is assertive sentence. We make simple statement in this kind of sentence, but how you will be able to identify it, there are few things which you need to keep in mind to identify an assertive sentence. It starts with subject. When I say that it starts with subject, then what all parts of a speech or what all things in grammar can be the subject of a sentence. I have already discussed in my previous videos that a noun, a pronoun, a gerund or infinitive can be the subject of a sentence. So these are the four ways to start an assertive sentence. The second thing which you need to keep in mind, that it ends with full stop. An assertive sentence will always end with full stop. It starts with a subject and it ends with a full stop. These are the two identifiers which you always have to keep in mind. While changing an assertive sentence into indirect speech, you have to add that. That is the conjunction which you have to keep between reporting verb and reported speech to join two things together while changing an assertive sentence into indirect speech. This is what you have to keep in mind. Here are the examples. We are reading. This is an assertive sentence because it has started with a pronoun and it has ended with a full stop. Here is the one example of indirect speech or indirect sentence. He says that he will go. He says he will go. There is a conjunction which is that, which I have already discussed, that this is the conjunction which you have to add while making an assertive sentence into, or turning that assertive sentence into indirect speech. Here are the things which I have already discussed in the beginning of the video, that there are four ways an assertive sentence can be started. It can be started with a noun, with a pronoun, gerund and infinitive. Gerund and infinitive act as a noun in the sentence, which I have already discussed in infinitive and gerund videos. If you haven't watched it, go there and watch again, so that you will have a clear understanding of gerund and infinitive and how it is used in the sentences. Here are a few examples based on these four: noun, pronoun, gerund and infinitive, how it can be started, how a sentence can be started with these four. Here is the noun. Teachers are on a strike. Teachers are a noun. They are demanding pay hike. They is a pronoun. Going there is difficult. Going is a gerund. To get there is difficult. To get is infinitive. So these are the four ways an assertive sentence can be started. And in all sentences, full stop is there. All sentences are ending with a full stop. So it is completing or fulfilling both the criteria, that it is starting with a subject and ending with a full stop. Let's move on to next type of sentence, which is interrogative sentence. In interrogative sentence, we make questions. Then how to identify an interrogative sentence? An interrogative sentence, the first modifier to identify is it starts either with auxiliary verb or with WH clauses or WH words, which is how, where, which, what. These all are the WH words which are interrogative in use. And there is another identifier. An interrogative sentence will always end with question mark. Third thing is subject of the sentence in interrogative sentence will always stand second or third in the sentence. The fourth thing which you have to keep in mind, that you have to take conjunction if, whether only in those sentences which starts with auxiliary verb. WH clauses or WH words are themselves conjunctions. So while changing an interrogative sentence into indirect speech, if it has started with an auxiliary verb, then that conjunction would be if, whether. And if it has started with WH words as a question, then WH words are themselves conjunction. In that case, you do not have to take if, whether while changing any interrogative sentence into indirect speech. Let's see the example. Is it clear? Is a auxiliary verb, and this sentence is ending with a question mark, so it's an interrogative sentence. Here is an example of indirect speech. He asks me whether it is clear. So if you are changing an interrogative sentence into indirect speech, this is how you need to change. Let's see another example. What is your name? This is starting with W word, which is what, and ending with a question mark. An assertive sentence, an interrogative sentence. And here is an example of how you can change it into indirect speech. He asks what my name is. This is how you can convert an interrogative sentence into indirect speech. But one thing which you have to keep in mind, that all sentences written in indirect speech are assertive. So don't get confused that while changing an interrogative sentence or assertive sentence, the sentence will become something different. It is always assertive if you are changing any type of sentence into indirect speech. It will become assertive sentence. All indirect speech sentences are assertive sentence. Sometimes who and what act as subject, so stand first in interrogative sentences. This is something which you have to keep in mind, that who says so, what makes you think so, what has brought you here. These are the example in which what, who are acting as a subject in the sentence. Let's move on to the type 3. The third type of sentence is imperative sentence. In this sentence, we make order, we give advice, we request somebody, or we prevent somebody or something to be done. But how you will be able to identify it? The identifiers are, it starts with main verb. Always it will start with main verb. It ends with full stop. Subject, that is you, is mostly hidden. In imperative sentences, most of the time your subject will be you, but that will be hidden. Conjunction, you have to take to or from depending on the type of sentence, depending how it was written. You have to take to or from while changing an imperative sentence into indirect speech. Here are the examples. Go there. Go is a main verb, which I have told that it starts with main verb. So go is a main verb. Go there. You which is hidden in this, you go there should be the right sentence, but go there is also making sense, and you always tell this kind of thing in speeches or in writing. Go there, come here, don't go there. These are the things which you always tell to people. So, and how you can change it into indirect speech. Here is the example. You are ordered to go there. You are ordered to go there. Conjunction is to, which has been taken here, to. You are ordered to go there. Don't talk. This is simple, written in imperative sentence. Don't talk. Here is the indirect. You are prevented from talking. I just said that depending on in which way the sentence is written, you have to take to or from while changing an imperative sentence into indirect speech. Here is the fourth one, optative sentence. Optative sentence, in this sentence we wish somebody in it. We all the time wish in this. And how to identify it? The first identifier is it starts with may. The second one is it ends with note of exclamation, which you might be aware of this. Subject stands second in this kind of sentence. And conjunction, we take that while changing an optative sentence into indirect speech. So here is the example. May you succeed. This sentence has started with may, subject which is you standing second, and the sentence is ending with note of exclamation. So it is an optative sentence. Here is the example of indirect sentence of optative sentence. He wishes me that I may succeed. That, which is the conjunction which has been taken to convert the above sentence into indirect speech. This is how you make an indirect speech from optative sentence. And this is all in this video. I hope you liked it. This is very, very helpful for those students who are struggling to understand how to convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech. If you want to understand this thing, then you have to have grip or clear-cut understanding of all those 4 types of sentences in English language. Only then you will be able to convert a direct speech sentence into indirect speech, depending on all the conjunctions which we have discussed. And you will have to consider all the facts, all the identifiers which is discussed in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.